The fact that we actually got an interaction last night between Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight in a backstage segment, that sold me, because you guys know I'm a huge fan of both of these dudes, and the fact that they could potentially feud over the TNT title, you can take my money. Now, I do know that Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight faced each other before in the Continental Classic just several months ago, but the fact that we could potentially get this as a feud, I am locked in. Guys, you don't understand. These are two of my favorite people on the roster right now. Outside of MJF and Swerve, these two are next up. I like the fact that they teased this, and it's the fact that they're doing something that I've been preaching I wanted to see in pro wrestling for a long time, pushing young stars. Kyle Fletcher, I think he's 27 years old. Kevin Knight, 29 years old, feuding over the TNT title. They are giving the TNT title such a pivotal spot. The fact that Kevin Knight got multiple segments on this show as the TNT champion, you are very much giving your future a pivotal role on this roster. And I love it. I love to see it. Dynamite as a whole was a decent show. I did like it. Now, I didn't watch Collision because 3 hours of anything for me is excessive as far as pro wrestling. So I ended up just watching some highlights of Collision on YouTube after it aired because I was tired, y'all. I had to go to sleep. I actually came home right after Dynamite went off the air, and I ended up watching it on some bootleg website. And then I'd watch Collision on YouTube. But the overall show as a whole, bro, it was decent. I actually enjoyed it. I really tuned in because I wanted to see the continuation of Kevin Knight's heel turn, what he's going to say, why he did it. And Kevin Knight gave a reasonable explanation. He said Darby Allin couldn't get the job done. Darby Allin let him down. Darby Allin let the people down. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see what they're going to do with Kevin Knight as far as his official feud. I know Speedball Mike Bailey came out and Mike Bailey tried to get him to apologize, saying that he's tripping. And Kevin Knight ended up attacking him at the end of the segment. So we're actually going to get a match between Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight next week. Now, I thought that they're going to make this into an actual feud because they are former tag team partners, former trios champions. So I wanted to see if they were going to make this a feud or probably just do a one-off. But I like the fact that they set up multiple people for Kevin Knight because you got Speedball Mike Bailey, Darby Allin potentially, you know, Kyle Fletcher, and even Kevin Knight confronted MJF tonight. Like, the fact that they are lining up these people for Kevin Knight, I'm not sure how it's going to play into one another, but the fact that they have potential opponents already teased for Kevin Knight, I love the setup. I love the fact that they actually have something for him to do, because usually when someone wins a title, we would never get a continuation of anything, and it's always one-off matches with no actual story, no actual setup. So the fact that they're giving him some potential opponents, I love to see that. As far as Kyle Fletcher, now I don't know if Kyle Fletcher is going to immediately go with Kevin Knight because they're both heels, so I'm not sure how that dynamic is going to work. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't know how it's going to work with the heel and the heel. But Kyle Fletcher has been teasing as well that he's going to face Konosuke Takeshita, because on Collision, Konosuke Takeshita actually confronted him. Well, not really confronted, he ran out the ring, but they're teasing Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher having an official match for the international title. I don't mind it. That's actually going to be a really good feud. I'm just more hyped about the fact that we could get Kevin Knight versus Kyle Fletcher. That's where my money is. That's what I want to see. The program is going to be insane. But I know that they got to do the heel versus face thing, so he's probably going to face Takeshita first and get that feud out the way. That should be a really solid feud. I'm not sure how it's going to end up being because Kyle Fletcher's already, a two-time TNT champion? And I don't know if he want to actually go back for the TNT champion off Kevin Knight or go for the international title. He more than likely is going to win the international title, but I don't see Takeshita losing the title this early after he just got it back because he's also a two-time international champion. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but either way, the feuds are going to be great. I love the fact they're setting things up. As far as like Kyle Fletcher, Kevin Knight, Takeshita, they got everything for feeling like it's supposed to be. And then we also got a rematch between Ricochet and Chris Jericho tonight. That was another thing that I actually enjoyed watching because for Chris Jericho to move the way he is at his age, you got to give that man some props because this man's still doing lion salts and going over 10 to 15 minutes in the ring at his age. Bro, you got to give Chris Jericho his props. I don't care what nobody said. I don't care if they think he's washed up or if he's always hogging the spotlight. I don't care. Chris Jericho is very good in that ring. And at his age, he's still showing me that he can go. And I like that. I do like that. And then the other thing I was really looking forward to is, I don't know if Swerve's going to have an official feud or not, but he did have a backstage segment tonight. Not too much shine on him tonight, so we're going to see where he goes next week. And then we got MJF in the ring celebrating the fact that he is a 3-time world champion before the age of 30, which is a crazy statistic because they highlighted that tonight on AEW Dynamite. And that brings me back to my point, is that AEW is pushing their young stars because MJF is not even 30 yet. He's already a 3-time world champion. That is your pillar of the company. That is the guy you should lean on because he is doing things that people over the age of 30 aren't doing right now. There are people in their 40s that aren't even 3-time world champions, and MJF is a 3-time world champion before the age of 30. Now, he's going to face Mark Briscoe. I feel like didn't we just get this match though? Him versus Mark Briscoe? Because I think Mark Briscoe challenged him last time he was world champion. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with that feud. I'm not sure if there's going to be an official feud or not because Roosh came out tonight and wanted to challenge MJF. So they're going to fight next week for the world title. I'm not really interested in Roosh and MJF. I'm just going to be completely transparent, but I mean, it should be fine. I just want to see what MJF's next official, interesting feud is going to be. If it's Mark Briscoe, so be it. But I feel like we already seen that. We already got that. But yeah, guys, I feel like Dynamite was a pretty decent show tonight. I'm just talking about the highlights of things that I was interested in on the show. But yeah, I did like the show. I want to see what they do next week because they do got me interested in what Kevin Knight's going to do as far as him and Speedball next week. I don't know if Kevin Knight's going to take him out, but we're going to see, man, because this is a money-making heel turn. Kevin Knight is just getting started, y'all. I've been rooting for this guy for over a year now. And I feel like this man is finally getting his shine, the shine he deserves, and the flowers that he deserves right now. I'll even go as far as saying, hey, make him Jet 2 belts, you know what I'm saying? Give him the world title and the TNT title. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel in the comments down below about AEW Dynamite. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.